Alright, so once we are done with the left part of the main page, now I'm going to start working on the right side. Again, as you see, it consists of two parts. At the top of the page we have some inputs and button, and then in the middle there is some content with font awesome icon, headings and buttons. Okay, let's go ahead and style this part. Actually, before we write the code, I want to place HTML and CSS files side by side, because sometimes we need to look at the HTML markup. So if we split the window, it will be much better. Let's just drag CSS file on the right side and also close the sidebar. Okay, first of all, as usual, I'm going to make new comments here, right, then end of right, then select the div element with the class name right, which is the wrapper of the entire right part. So the first thing that I want to do is to define the layout of the right side. As the left part, it automatically takes up the second column and first row. But anyway, let's define manually grid column with the line numbers 2, -1, and grid row 1 and 2. Alright, that's it about wrapper div element. Now I'm going to take care of the form. Let's recall what it consists of. We have input, then a group of input and label, and also button. Let's go ahead and select form element, which has class name right content form. So I'm going to align elements horizontally in a row. For that, let's use flexbox. As you see, elements are placed side by side. Now I want to place them in the center of the right part, and for that we can use justify content center. And also I'm going to create some space at the top of the form. For that, let's use margin top and set it as 3 rems. Okay, before I start styling the input elements, would be better if we align middle content at the center of the right side. For that, I'm going to use a special technique based on positions and transform translate. Let's select the middle content. First of all, I'm going to set its position as absolute. Then, in order to manage its position according to its parent element, which in this case is right content, but actually I think that we don't need this element here at all, because we can manage the position of form element directly according to the wrapper div element. I'm in the div with class name right, so let's get rid of this element from here, and then assign to the parent element, which now became wrapper div, position relative. Now we are able to manage the position of middle content according to the right side. At first I'm going to move it down by 50%. For that, let's define top position and make it 50%. Then in the same way, I'm going to move it to the right side by 50%. So we need to define left property and set it as 50%. For now, middle content is not perfectly centered. To be more precise, its top left corner is placed in the center. We don't need that, we need to center the entire element. In order to do that, we have to move it from its current position to up by 50% and also to the left side by 50% as well. For that, I'm going to use transform with translate, which should have two values, -50% and then again -50%. So now middle content is perfectly centered in the right part. Alright, so this technique is very popular and really convenient, and I'm using it quite frequently. Okay, so we aligned both elements, I mean form and the middle content. Now it's time to start styling of them, and for that let's move on to the next lecture.